There we are. View of the arsenal, your one-stop shop for all the stuff you need to shoot people and otherwise play the game. So we're playing Antistasi on Altus 2.1.2. That's our commander Varg over there. And what you need to do once you are a fresh spawn, you'll be in this building or somewhere else, and you're going to want to find your nearest arsenal. Now there's just the one, so if you don't know where it is, ask around. We'll be certain to point you in the right direction. If you're not on our server, good luck. And what you're going to want to do is using the scroll wheel. You see in the upper left-hand corner there, I'm getting options to open arsenal, but how do I select it? Well, that's going to be the space bar by default, so we're going to jump right into it. So, what you're going to find first is you are in a third-person view of yourself in the arsenal, but you might just spawn like this. Use the right mouse key to click and drag to reassign your camera. Now, to start off and by creating a loadout, you can do this in two different ways. The way I will be using is I will be selecting the icons in the upper left corner that stretch down the bottom of the screen. You can also choose the different icons that are on your character's body, but I just use this way because it's pretty straightforward for me. So, first things first, let's start off by choosing ourselves a rifle. Now we're just going to grab our standard AKMS, and we can see that there are stats displayed in the lower right. Depending on what attachments you have available on the weapon in the upper right-hand corner, you can then attach those to your weapon. This one doesn't look like it has any applicable attachments, so let's take a quick look at the Moisen. Ooh, I'm going to get shit for that later. And then you'll see that we are already getting scopes and, yeah, just scopes that are on this weapon that we can place. To equip a scope, you would just need to click on it, and then if you're not feeling it, you can unequip it by clicking none there. But we're going to stick with our AKMS. Next up, we can go to a launcher, and you can pick any of the launchers, but be warned. When you equip a launcher, you see how that RPG's got no detonation on the front, no charge? Well, we need to load it first, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And a handgun, we're just going to grab ourselves a handgun and move on to our uniform. It usually doesn't matter too much what you wear, but make sure you pick something like a nice business suit that won't get you shot by your friends, but we're just going to keep on with our common clothes. The vest, these can be pretty important, and if you want to select which one you like, also look towards the lower right to see which ones are going to give you different stats. We see that this LVB harness is giving us a good load, good weight, meaning it is going to initially weigh us down a little bit, but allow us to carry more. So let's go with a LBV harness. Looks good. And what's this? In our upper right-hand corner, one of the vest, and this is the same with the backpack as well, which I'm going to equip just a standard backpack. You can see that there's ammo up here. Now, this icon gives you magazines for your current weapons, magazines for everything in your arsenal, grenades and other explosives that are here, and then everything else. Let's start off with just making sure that we have some ammo. So our AK is definitely going to be taking this 30-round AKM mags, so let's give us a nice amount. Now, I've nearly filled up my chest space with just ammo at this point. So right now, 330 rounds. I'm just going to close out, and hey, I'm going to pull out my weapon by pressing 1 on the key. And then if we take a look in third person here, no mag. Reload that first. Perfect, and your mag is there. And hey, wouldn't you know it, if we go back into Arsenal, and we go into the vest area where we put our magazines from earlier, we used up one of those mags. Now we can do the same thing for our other weapons, moving to our sidearm with number 2, reloading, getting that ammo that we took out of the arsenal into our weapon, and the same with our launcher. Now the fun thing about the launchers and some specific items that you'll find in this extra section is you'll need to put them directly into your backpack instead, as they are too large to fit into your chest carrying spaces. So reloading the RPG. And looks good, looks good. Now that I have that, I can hop back into the armory, go back into my backpack. Let's take a few extra RPGs with us, and hey, you know what, let's grab some sidearm ammo. So just going to fill that up. That'll weigh me down a bit, but I don't care too much. I'm fine with walking slow. Now, besides the ammo that you're going to want to take with you, always grab grenades, smoke for cover, explodey ones for, the fun versions. And what you're going to want to do, at a minimum, grab yourself a pair of earplugs. If you're playing with ACE or other mods that will change the audio in the game, earplugs are a must, and your ears will be ringing, and if they are doing that, you're not going to have a good time. So, we'll get to that in just a moment, but other things you will want. Basic bandages. I bring at least 10 of these along, and epinephrine, as well as morphine. Now, if you're a medic class like myself, you can take some blood. We have just enough for some extra blood here, so I'm going to add that in. And then we can follow on and look at the rest of the items. You can grab yourself a beret, a balaclava. If you have night vision goggles, you can equip them there. Everything from the headgear on down has its own unique equipment slot, so make sure to grab yourself a pair of binoculars, a map, GPS, radios if your group uses them. We are currently working on getting enough of those. Compass, and a watch. Now, once you have everything and this nearly completed loadout, let's do a save down here at the bottom. And loadout 1 test. So once you've done that, you can see I have other loadouts here. We're going to go ahead and save that. And now should something happen, we can go around and check on our inventory. We have all of our equipment here, earplugs. Well, let's touch on that real quick. Control key, Windows key together give you self-actions menu. Go to medical. Go to equipment and earplugs in. That'll put your earplugs in. You can see it just got a little bit quieter. I'll be a little bit quieter so you can hear that transition when I take them out. A little bit there, but it's a bit more noticeable with earplugs in. Nice and quiet compared to earplugs out. You can hear that ringing that's happening. That is your character losing their ability to hear, so that's no fun. Earplugs in, and sorry for the ringing, that'll just be there in the background. But that's the very basics of the arsenal. Once you can create a loadout, you can add anything into your inventory that you see in the menus. Check in with your group if it's appropriate to be grabbing things that aren't unlimited, as some items, like this, only have one in our convoy. So if your group is working up to get infinite items, check in first. Otherwise, if it's free for all, go right ahead, pick what you want, and try not to die. And if you have any questions, ask your other members, and if you're the first one showing others how to do it, best of luck. Avoid the ATVs, they're terrible.